go. All right, Overdeck only got one student. Okay, so good. All right, I'm gonna need to set up my attendance.
I'll find something to eat, man.
You gotta find something to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Go cook something.
No, I think it's only eggs in there.
So make some. You know what? I ain't got time for you. Some breakfast. That's what I'm about to do in a minute, though. Let's see here, Edsby. Probably boil me an egg or something. I know I got some. I think I got some bacon. I gotta figure that out. Walk to the store. Uh, Credit recovery. How was your weekend? Did you just like sleep in?
Oh yeah, I never slept so much in my life, man. I didn't think it was possible. I
It's
slept and
possible when you
slept.
make time for it. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
when I tell you, man, I slept
Mm,
and slept and slept and
mm,
slept and slept and
mm.
slept. Like I didn't think the human body could do that. Like that joint,
Yeah. Mm,
man, I felt like a mummy.
mm. See why I don't go nowhere. I be like resting, recuperating.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Trying to get attendance tracking for this. Let me make sure my microphone is off in this other classroom. Okay, it is. Yeah, I read some more books. That's what I did over the weekend. Spent some time with my son.
That's cool.
hmm He wanted to make some money, so it's more work than cool.
Yeah, that's how it is, man. Like that's tight time I'm on, man. I want to make money, but it's like I ain't 100%, but I'm just a little upset because I'd rather be trying to make some money, some extra money somewhere.
No, well, I mean, there's always tutoring. That's all I can think of. And then, like I don't know, a trade, I guess. Did you get your your stimulus?
Nope.
Darn it! Ouch.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, man. It's like it seems like my luck is never good when it comes to getting that.
Do you owe?
Yeah, it's my
You got rearage.
yeah.
That's where it went.
I could have sworn though they said that this one.
No, I know a bunch of brothers that yeah. Mm, Okay, who is this coming in? Oh, it's in another room. Oh, it's Jalen. Okay. It is weird watching two classes. It's over there. Okay. Mute my mic. Hello, Mr. Carson. Are you driving, Mr. Carson? No, his camera frozen. Hmm. One second, I gotta invite a student in. Um, Carson, I'm trying to see if you're there. Look like the camera's going towards the ceiling. I'm trying to mute the other glass. There we go. Yeah, I see. Okay, the camera's moving around. Um, I was just letting you know I'm not just having you sit here. It's 9:03. You got 2 more minutes. I'm trying to invite another student into the classroom now, but I gotta type the email from my phone. What is this? Okay, it's another email. All right, so what's this boy's thing? Keith. And then 187. I wonder if he has his kit though. Let me send this. Okay, done. So Ortiz knows. Okay. Oh, hey, Melody. Okay. Let's try and get a student in here. I gotta do attendance. Okay, that's overdag. All right. We got 1 more minute. If everybody gets situated, you're gonna need your kids today. Again, trying to get you closer to what you need to do. Who's that? Melody?
Melody.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm not at home and I'm on my phone. I don't got none of my stuff.
Yeah, I don't got my kid today neither.
Oh my goodness, y'all killing me. So how am I gonna help y'all out?
I could screen record.
You can screen record? What do you mean by that?
Like screen record everything you do and just do it when I get home later.
Oh, you mean talking about watch the recording, Melody? Oh, well,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll go through it, but it's gonna be hard to do without it. But wait a minute, y'all got your kids set up, so I think you should be okay. But we got to do our norms real quick. 1 second, let me check on Overdyke because I'm kind of helping out in 2 classes. Oh, they're good. They're good. Okay. All right, let's go through our norms, everybody. And today I'm gonna treat like a pretty much asynchronous day. So we're gonna have what is called a Boy Scouts honor. In terms of, I'm gonna trust you check the video out. I'm gonna talk about the labs you're gonna see pop up later on today. And what I mean by that is labs 4 and 5 are already due. Right? We talked about that over and over and over. I hope everybody got a good break from school over the weekend and try to get some work done if you could. But now we're moving on to the other labs. So I'm going to open up the curriculum and I'm trying to slowly go through it. So please, if you didn't use this asynchronous day that I'm about to give everybody to at least finish up on your assignment. Okay, so that's where I'm at with it because a lot of students need to catch up and I can't move too far until you get these kids going. So let's see here. And Carson, I'm making plans on I gotta find out from the staff what's the best day to come up there and swap out your sense hat because that's your only glitch, I think. Probably it's damaged or whatever. And then if you have time when you come up there, we could probably troubleshoot it together. It's really a quick process, but I'm thinking maybe you have a damaged sense hat, which is probably where your headaches are coming from. So let me first find out when I can do that, and then I'll let you know. I'll find out from you when you can come up and swap that out.
I,
Um, I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I said okay.
Oh, okay. I couldn't hear you. All right, so let's go through our norms so we can get that, accomplished. I don't want anybody trying to say, "Hey, we didn't do our norms," right? 1 second. He's doing algorithms. All right, give me 1 second, you guys. Over there, did you want me to explain algorithms, or you're good? I didn't hear that because I was in another class. But hello, everybody, and I guess I'm talking to both classes. But basically, an algorithm is what I've had you guys do with the Raspberry Pi kits from day one. You follow a procedure and it's step by step. I even like the video, if he gets into it, where they actually have a wrap towards what algorithm is. But in terms of the algorithms you'll use, those are the scripts. Now, the algorithms are more defined than scripts are, because a script, you just write it out. This is what he was taking you through, and Overdeck is taking you through with, different programs you can do in your syntax. So take it a bit serious what you're about to learn with these activities. They're kind of fun. I have to admit, Miss Lane chose some very interesting aspects, but overall, focus on what the algorithm talks about. Not just how catchy the phrases are, but it's a step-by-step process. And then the word algo for algorithm is also used for algebra. They're Arabic terms. So that's all I want to share, Mr. Overdeck. You have the floor, sir. I got to jump back in with my class. All right, so I'm sorry, everybody over here. I didn't want to keep switching through and lose time. I knew he was about to do that. All right, can everybody see my screen in this classroom here?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to go through our norms real quick. Let me bring this over here so I can see. I have to double tab it and then zoom in some more. All right, now everybody should see what I'm doing now. So these are 5 basic norms. We got Mel, we got Mel, we got Quan, Taekwon. I'm trying to keep it professional. Can you read the first 5 basic norms, Mr. Carson, and then Melody, you do the next one. Next one.
No one has the right to hurt another person. Education and classroom are sacred. We will never behave in a way that discredit ourselves, our school, our family, and excel academic self-first student always act with integrity. We take pride in excel academic self-first.
Thank you, sir. All right, Miss Terry, can you read the 5 academic norms? Are you there? Oh, there she goes.
We respect the opinions of others. We respect the culture of the classroom. We are attentive and participate. We have high expectations of ourselves, our peers, and our teachers. We are here to focus on preparing ourselves for post-secondary endeavors.
Thank you, Miss Terry. All right, welcome to class, Alika. I just saw her name. I gotta go through the attendance again. It didn't save. Goodness gracious. Because I'm in 2 classrooms. This is like tough. All right, so Carson was here. I gotta do it again. Terry was already here, and Alika just arrived. All right. So save to office. Why didn't you do that? There we go. Okay, it did save that time. All right, so back to what we was doing. Again, we're going to treat this as asynchronous day because a lot of people are still, and because of the coverage I have to provide, we're going to treat both today and tomorrow as asynchronous. Give you guys some time to catch up on your kits. Again, some students said I don't have it. It's not around me. So it's kind of unfair for me to keep you here, and I'm already handling a lot today because we have some teachers that are not available today because of whatever reason. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go through the labs that are due for today, and I want you to work on them. And I'm going to grab this code. If you see my screen, I'm trying to make sure both screens are showing, and they are. Oh, he's doing the video. Cool. Ms. Lane has a cool video on algorithms, and I think you should check it out if you have her class. And it explains what you guys are going through with these scripts. You have more defined activities that come about after lab 5. So let me grab this link and put in the chat because maybe you forgot this link, but this link is also here. I keep pointing it out to you guys. If you go to EDSB, the quiz has the link for Code Next, where I'm getting these labs from. I keep explaining this to you guys. Oh, hey, Eli, I got to mark him present now. before I forget, Curtis. There he is. Okay, so what was I saying? So the links I'm talking about, they're always here. I keep having to remind students. They'll Etsy me and say, "What's this link?" And what I keep putting it there for you guys, especially in the library. Like I don't know how many of you guys checked out the recordings. I'm starting to wonder if I'm doing it for my health. But I mean, look important. I do it because
Me, I be watching them because I be trying. I've been trying to go off my Raspberry Pi, but I don't know.
okay, that's a good start. And I mean, you do get credit for trying, but we know we talked about your issues, right, with the Syntap. So you
Yeah, cause
I think you
my
would like enjoy it more if your stuff was not damaged or it worked, or it could be defected. You know, it might not even be you. So just relax. We got to swap that out, and you'll be all right. I think. But I'm glad you're somebody's watching them because I'm like, am I just doing this for the?
yeah, I watch all the videos from the beginning. Like I
Okay,
watched
well,
all.
I was about to ask y'all, should I continue the videos or should it just?
Yeah, cause I be
Some
needing
students
them.
have told me, he said, yeah, I only hear one person talking, but thank you, Carson. But I mean, I only do them because some people have work lives, and they can't, and I've seen this with students over summer, they can't watch it right then and there, or they can't be present. I understand that, and there's an attendance thing, and you're all becoming adults. But honestly, you gotta get to a point where you do watch the videos because this is what happens in college. Like right now, we're in COVID-19. Okay, look, y'all, go on somewhere. All right, so we're dealing with a lot of things where people don't have access like they used to. Can't be outside. I don't know if you know, but I think today some of CPS has returned. That doesn't mean necessarily we're going to return because we're high school. I think that was only for elementary school students and like pre-K. So you got to understand we're in tricky times. We are forced to use this technology from here on out. So you're gonna get frustrated, but nobody's torturing you. It's just showing you how these things work. At any rate, you get off the soapbox. In the chat, I'll put the link again in case nobody knew where it was. So I'm gonna click this. Got an email, and these are the lab assignments. Now, do not jump right into the lab assignments unless you have your Sense hat updated. I keep saying this. I feel like a broken record. First, well, let me say it in correct terms. Your Raspberry Pi updated fully because some students are not doing that correctly. I'm seeing they're missing Scratch 3 and they're missing Thani. This is because you didn't do everything that you should have did in all the steps in the setting up guide I gave you. So before I'm ready to give you the rest of the links, I want to know what links do you guys not have? Maybe that's a better question to help you out. Because the objective today is to still make sure you complete those SB assignments. My objectives never really change. It's the same thing. Can you complete the assignment? I word it differently to teach new words, but can you do this? So look, let me go over it again. I think I said enough. The next ones you'll see is lab 6, 7, and 8. Now these would be assignments for today. Lab 6, you should just make it try to work. And if you can't make it work, I want to explain again. Can I do my VNC? I got to connect it again. I don't see my VNC on here. I wanted to show you the kit connection and show you the steps because I think when I tell you what to do, y'all be getting confused. When I show you what to do on the screen, that's why I did VNC Connect, and I'll teach you how to do it if you think you're confident enough. But you have an application called VNC Viewer that we're using. So I'm gonna click on VNC Viewer, and then what do we have? It'll open up a portal, and you guys can install this if you want, but there are steps. You gotta be careful how you do it. If you think you're ready, you have to install it on your laptop and also install it, or what you can. I think you can install this also on your cell phone. Now I'm not sure about Android because I'm an iPhone user, but I'm pretty sure with my iPhone I was in the bed typing. Like I was literally laying in the bed this morning typing up lesson plans that I wanted to do on my Raspberry Pi from my cell phone. Right, so cool stuff. I thought it was like Batman type stuff. So I'm gonna click on this here, right? Or what was it? Tony Stark. So that's Elon Musk. All right, so now you're seeing inside of my Raspberry Pi. If you can see my screen, okay. So with that said, I'm gonna close this. These are notifications from my calendar, and you're seeing a zoom in because we're watching a mirror screen of another computer. So it's going to do that vertigo where it goes straight in. So if you're wondering why is that an error, no, it's just what happens. You have two devices monitoring. It's called remoting into a computer. So this is a feature you'll learn later to troubleshoot your Raspberry Pi. Maybe you don't have another TV, right? You just got your laptop. Well, you can use a little LCD screen that it comes with to set it up and everything, right? And you want to just log into it and work from your laptop on it and still get the assignment done. You can do these things later on. This is after updating, setting up, all that stuff that you do. So now this is what your screen should look like when you've done a complete Raspberry Pi. I don't know if everybody noticed, but my screen says Code Next. That's the curriculum we've been using. Hint, hint. Let's go further into the Raspberry Pi, all right? So if I come here to SB, I showed you guys this already. I can scroll up and find what's necessary, right? So we're talking about today's assignment. Well, I should say last week's assignment, right? So this is the recording. If you think you don't know what to do, I thought I was very careful in putting the YouTube link in there too. So maybe I should grab that and put that in the chat for you in case you missed what we did. It was a quiz, 4 and 5. It's kind of why I'm like, let's make it asynchronous and give them a moment to catch up. So look, I got the chat transcripts of all the links that I gave you. I want to point this out. You guys click on library and go to the last thing that was posted, which was last Friday. That's the quiz, right? So if that's the case, you can come here and, like I said, click on library and find videos. You can find the chat transcripts, my Google Classroom. And even in this one, you have different links. Now, this link is for Google Meet. Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, what's going on, Ms. Vega? I just saw her come in here.
Good morning. I'm just taking attendance.
Oh, okay. I thought I saved it though. Oh, but she's just doing it. Okay. So anyway, what do I say? You have all of these, things you can review. These are the links I provided, and they're also in the message from last Friday. So if you ever get stuck, you just really go back, look at what I did, and try to replicate it. What I mean by replicate is do it yourself. It's all engineering school was. They would give you a lab manual, a procedure. It was up to you to do what they did, right? And if you didn't get it the first time, it's kind of like the Matrix. You can't, just be like, I quit. Forget it. In the Matrix, he said no one makes the first jump. The same thing is true here. All right, so you got to keep trying it, critically think through it, fail first, but fail better, as I was taught in martial arts, and accomplish the task. So here's where we at. I talked about coming to the school, trying to get clearance to come to school, and if students have questions, answer those. But we are in a limited space with these kids and time, so you got to schedule that. But first, let me find clearance. But to do any of these labs, I'm going to side by side this for you. Let me resize it. So lab 4 and 5, I want to just reiterate in case anybody says or is about to say, now what are we doing? All right. You go to lab 6 in that curriculum guide I gave you guys, right? And you'll see here, this task right here, don't wait till the last minute. It takes 50 minutes. You guys see what I'm saying? Just let it be asynchronous and they just work on it, right? Because I'm not even talking about the quiz you probably did or did not finish. You had to program your Raspberry Pi to move. Some of you got the credit, right? And if I mess up, you can always correct me and just put it in the system and demonstrate it if you think your grade is not, correct. But I did write all this down and I am human. So if you think something's not right and you got it, just show it. You should be able to rerun the program if you saved it to your Raspberry Pi. Okay, so don't shoot the messenger. If I messed up, let me know and I can correct the grade. You have to re-demonstrate it, but I will correct it. But I did write down stuff. This weekend was rough because I had to program 6 through 9 for you guys before I could put grades in to make sure that was working. And I did that. Now it's your turn. So you want to look at lab 6. And if you scroll down, of course, you're looking for what code, in case you forgot, what code you're using, right? So let me resize this. Now, you should see my screen and you should see the code. This is how I prefer you to try to do it. Now, if you're on your Raspberry Pi, you'll just be, doing like I'm doing on your laptop. Everybody see me. I got to go from here to there to do it. Or if you're advanced enough, you can contact myself or Mr. Overdyke, and we can show you how to do VNC Viewer. If you follow the directions and don't damage your kid and have it updated, it make life easier on you. You just use your cell phone to log into your Raspberry Pi or your laptop to log into it, because this thing is a really powerful computer. Now, moving forward, how do we handle finding scripts, right? Let me put this link in there because I'm pretty sure you might not have seen it or remember about it. You have this, what is called the GitHub repository. And this allows you guys to, I think one student said, it's a cheat sheet, Mr. Tyler. I was like, not really. These are just codes, that we use to test with robots, cell phones, even automated cars. We test out scripts, and then there are certain people who are smart enough to figure out how to make the script or algorithm even better. All right. So when you click on that link, you should see, let me check the link I gave you to be sure, because I tested out the links from here. Yeah. Okay. So you should see this here, which says makeover. I got to change that because that link is not right. But this is a script we use. That's probably why I did that. So you could test this out. Which script is this? This is makeover. Okay. So if I go back to just the link here, which is Raspberry Academy, I want you guys to know that should take you back to the very beginning of the coding. So let me see what it does. There, yeah, it looks better. So this is all of the stuff you normally would need to begin any of the labs from my Raspberry all the way down to stage 4. Tools is actually, you can read through it. If you're like a bookworm like me, you can figure out other stuff. But from here to there, from my Raspberries to stage 4, those are all other codes you guys need to make work on your kit. I am really literally making this assignment easy for you guys. If you know what you're doing, you can go straight to whatever the instructions say. So let's go to that. So lab 6 says do what? If I were you, I go to lab 6, click on it. That's for today, right? And then tomorrow, we're probably going to also do asynchronous again. That's your official asynchronous day, right? This is unofficial. I'm trying to get y'all time to catch up. So Raspberry shakes. No, I'm sorry, tap. That's lab 7 if you see that. And if you're done with it, you make this work. You got to read through and make sure you make these changes to your code to make this. And it says sense hat, right? Now you're doing temperature. Okay, so we're getting advanced, everybody. But you got to first, if you didn't get that done, at least use today to think about doing that and finish up any of these, because these assignments are still double in worth credit. And we're kind of getting towards the middle point of the month, right? The quarter ends February 4th. So it's 9:25. Do you guys want me to show you what to do, or do you know what to do? I'm trying to get a pulse before I say, all right, you're dismissed. And don't forget, if you have somewhere programmed in your coding, as part of the exit slip, the word of the day, which is venerable. Maybe I should put that in the chat, right? And
Hey, can you show it? I'd rather see it.
Show what? The word venerable?
No, like what you said you was gonna show the program.
Oh, you want me to do? Okay, you want me to go through that process? Okay, cool. Let me put the word in the chat for you. So, word of the day is, as they said in Townhouse, venerable. And I encourage you guys to come to these Townhouse events. They be having lots of opportunities for you. Venerable, that's spelled right? I think that's how it is. If that word shows up in your coding somewhere for lab 6, which is today's lab, then you get an additional 25 points. That's the word of the day. Now, he wants me to show you. So you say, for instance, Carson, we're doing lab 6, right? Click here. And lab 6 has Raspberry senses. Did you get that link I gave or no? It's for the Code Next curriculum, or Code Next with Google.
Yeah.
Okay. So you click on lab 6, right? And then once you do that, these are your instructions, your marching orders for it. So you read through it, and then the first thing, if you want to just, what am I looking at? You want to find the important parts is the highlighted in green, the script or algorithm that you need. Now, a word for this class, I'm not going to lie, Ms. Lane using it, so I kind of want to piggyback off of it. The word of the class or classroom term of the day is you could define that and put it somewhere in your code, just the word, but it would behoove you to learn what it's about. Classroom term of the day is algorithm. So I'm just going to do this to support Ms. Lane's class, so she's doing a lot of computer science with you guys as well. So let's see here. And, if you have that word and that word, that's an additional 25 points. That's 50 points. I'm doubling the pot for everything if you're doing these computer science experiments. So anyway, he's asking, what do you do? All right. So you looked at this, and what I would do if I was you is I'd have my Raspberry Pi set up, and I'll also be logged into the CodeNext and my EDSB so I can have other links. All right. So with that said, let me go here. I'm going to expand this screen a little bit. And this is my Raspberry Pi, Carson. So I click on this here. And next is what? I'm going to go to programming, and I'm going to come down to Thani. I'm going to get that running first. All right, so this is my Thani Python IDE. This is how you will be communicating with your Raspberry Pi initially. I wanted to, by next week, go into Scratch 3 because it's block coding, but I'm sorry. I wanted to give you the advanced stuff, and then towards the end of the quarter, do the baby stuff, in my opinion. All right, so you're doing a grown man coding or grown woman coding version of Python. All right, as a language. So it's kind of like learning, my son's learning Mandarin at Lindblom. You guys are learning it, but at a faster rate. And then towards the end of the quarter, it gets easier. So always start off hard, then slow down the pace. So you open this up next, Carson, and everybody else is paying attention. After that, if you do not, I'll keep saying this, if you do not have your SenseHead functional, what you would do is you come over here, because you still got to test out the code to make sure it works, and then make your changes. The changes I told you to make, and the changes that wants you to make, the curriculum, right? Because it's about temperature, I think. So now I need to figure out where the code is. So if I'm in EDSB on, this is why I said do this way. Let me just maximize this for you. If I'm in EDSB, click on this, programming. I can come over here to, where is it at? This is called Chromium, by the way, the browser. Open up the internet, get into EDSB. You come out of this, so you can see it. And it's first on your list, believe it or not. Right after Townhouse, it's the first thing. Because I try to repost Townhouse in case y'all know how to get to Townhouse or GGI. So first on your list is Townhouse, right? Let me scroll down. And then next on the list is the recording from last Friday on what we did in class, which you can still review yourself. I even put a YouTube version. For some of you guys, it'd be like, it's downloading forever. It's not okay. I got you. I got kids. I got a son. Let me help you out. Click on the YouTube link and still review it. All right. Because I was told by a student that you can learn anything on YouTube, Mr. Tyler. That's true. So if I leave you a video, you can learn this too. Right. So with that said, go to GitHub. And I told you guys last week, make your GitHub account. I think Eli, or I don't know if it was Eli, it was somebody. It was like, this is basically a cheat sheet. I was like, yeah, you're right, young man, you're right. I don't think it was Eli. It was probably Courtney or somebody. But anyway, I'm gonna click. This is a code, sample code you could use to see if your SenseHead's working. That's why I put it there. So you'll see what to take over. Now, some students are typing it directly into the Thani. Some students are downloading the whole package and just trying to put it into Thani. I think Courtney's doing that. So what you need to do is I gave this so you can just see how the code's supposed to look, what you put in Thani. But here, you click on Raspberry Pi, or Raspberry Academy, I'm sorry. If you're following what I'm doing from the GitHub link I put in the chat. And these are all of your codes, right? Like I said, from here to there. Now, you can go through and find your codes, or you can do what I do. I clicked on code, came down to download zip, and it downloads straight to my Raspberry Pi, because that's what I'm working on now from my VNC viewer. All right. So now that I got this source code on my Raspberry Pi, I can go to my folders just like a computer, open this up, and find where I put that at. Now, I kind of already did all this stuff already, like last week before even class started on Monday. But I'm gonna tell you where I put mine's at. I put mine's in documents, right? So you'll see it here. I have, let me double click that. It's like frozen in time or something. I'm in the home, okay. Oh, it's not changing. All right, let me do this. Close you. Yeah, I think because Donnie's running. It's hacking up. There we go. See, does not seem to be responding in process. It works just like a computer, you guys, but the thing is pretty sharp. So let's try this again. Okay, opened up. Can I get to my... And all these things, especially computers, require patience, just like people. So there we go. And then there we go. So I got all the files I needed from that zip file. Now, where did that zip file go? You might want to go to downloads. This says, you see I downloaded it already here, if you guys notice that. So this is the first download, but to open it up, I can right click. Right click is different from left click on the if you have a mouse like me, right? So I'm gonna right click, right, not left. A lot of people are like, I'm doing it. No, you're not. Same thing with the touchpad. You can right click something to get a menu. So I right click on it. That's one way to do it. And I can tell it where to extract to. And I can extract all of these to, if I open this up, there you go. And you got to pay attention to what you're doing. This is the part I want you guys to figure out, but I see you're having trouble. So you can point to where, because a zip file is like, how many of you guys know about Ziploc bags? Nobody there, huh? Let's see if anybody's paying attention.
Like the actual bags, or that's a...
The Ziploc bags? Yeah, the actual bags.
Yeah.
What do you do with a Ziploc bag?
You put stuff in it so it won't go or get old or nothing.
Right. Well, you got it. You got it. You put stuff in there because you want to compress it, sometimes freeze it, use it for later, right? But the same thing is true with a zip file. It's a compressed file. So you know what it means to compress something. Say something is like has a certain amount of volume, water, for instance. Talking physics now. You could put, say, a glass of water in the freezer, and the glass will crack. Why is that? It's because of the ice, right? Because it's frozen.
Yeah.
And when something freezes, it pretty much expands and the ice breaks. Now, the same is not true with computers, but that's a compression, right? Like ice compression, heat compression. But the file is basically squeezed down. So when you want to send it to somebody, it doesn't tie up bandwidth. So it's folded up like a piece of like a note, real small. That's what the computer does. And then when you get it, it has a password encryption, and it blows up into the actual file. That's why they say it's a zip file. So it's a compressed file. But anyway, getting back to the zip file, which you got from GitHub, if you did what I did, you can click on that. And it's like, okay, where do you want to put this file? It has a temp folder. All I did is click on the directories. I say, hey, I want to put this in my documents, and I want to kind of put this here, and just hit open. Now it has a directory path straight to your documents. You hit extract, like you're actually unfolding that package, right? It's going to blow up. And you're putting it into docs. So if it's done, I should come over to my documents again and go inside of here, and there it is. Lo and behold, all of the files that I saw on GitHub. So if you don't do anything else today, I would go through that process. Get all the files to your Raspberry Pi. So when you look at your lab 1, lab through 7, however many you're doing, because you'll see it on that when I post it, you'll just be able to run it. Now, here's an example of how to run it. That file I told you about, if you don't have your SysHat running yet, you have still trouble, you can change this file in a manner of which that allows you and other files that are in here to test it on your emulator. You don't necessarily need the SysHat. The SysHat has to do advanced experiments, but they also thought about what if students don't have access to it or they can't get it to work. So you have an emulator, which is like a game simulator of the same piece of equipment. All right, let me tell you what I'm talking about, because I think that's what he was asking about. So if you go up here to the Raspberry guide, right, and you come down to Sense Hat Emulator, should open up. There it is. This is the Sense Hat Emulator that we was talking about. Okay. Now, this is where the algorithms or these scripts, these Python pieces of example code, right, will help you make something happen on the emulator if you choose to set the designation or not. Now, how do you do that? It's really simple, and I explained this over and over and over again. So let me do this. Go back one, and I'm gonna go back one more because I did this in advance for a lot of you guys. Test this out. This is the bestiary file, but written as an emulator file. If it was written as just bestiary and I sent it to you, it is only meant to be used for the Sense Hat. So let's keep it moving. If I start with bestiary emu, this file here, and this is something I did on my own, it's basically the bestiary file in your GitHub files. But what I'm trying to tell you is each of those files you got, if you don't have a Sense Hat, you can just make one tweak or one change and it works on the emulator. So you can have a fully set up kit and having trouble with your Sense Hat, but still do this code and see effects on your emulator. Okay, so let's go through this. I'm going to open up this file, and you got two ways. You could double click on it and it might open up as a text file, or you might have to load it. So I'm kind of, experienced. I'm going to just open it up by right clicking on it, and it's used to this program being used. So it'll show up in this list. If it doesn't show up in the list, what you can do is you come here to load and do the same exact thing. You find the file you want to open. If you know you put it at after you got the files down from GitHub, you just go straight to it. So I'm going to come here and do it this way so you guys can understand what's happening. My codes are loaded. I'm just going through, and these are some of the names you got to change, but there's a little bit of a challenge to changing the names. First part is get the code to work. After you get the code to work, then you play with the code to see if you can put your name in there and the word of the day and stuff like that. All right, so with that said, remember I told you there's one thing you have to change? Usually it's somewhere in the first 1 to 4 lines of code, this here. So if I change just this one part, this EMU part, I don't know if Carson's there and see this. If I change that to hat, it goes to my Sense Hat. I make a change, I'll save. And then I want to make sure I stop everything from running. Next, run it. Now this, if we look backwards behind me, this is the one thing I changed to run it on my Sense Hat. You see my Sense Hat is lighting up behind me. Let me bring this over here so you can see it. Did it go? Come here, you. This computer's being stubborn today. Click, I don't want to. All right, so I had a discussion with my son. I'm like, no, you're going to, or you don't get paid. All right, so you should see my screen, right? And honestly, I'm over here, if you can see my hand and everything, with my Sense Hat. And it's doing the bestiary run through. This is what it's supposed to do. You have to see it for yourself and program everything. Where you see some names coming across the character, and honestly, what happens next is you have to go in and change it. So it's your name, full name, and the word of the day of that day. You gotta go back and watch the video for that. Now, this is the Sense Hat. I'm going to use the emulator now. So let me move the screen out your way so you can see it. On the emulator side, where are we at? Grab this and move it out the way. Put that over there so I can watch both classes. We have this situation. Let me go back and remote into my Raspberry Pi. So this is the emulator. You see this little microchip here, and it looks like nothing, but this is basically what the Sense Hat is. It's a simulator. So we're going to come over here, and we're going to change our code from hat, this little bitty part, be careful, to EMU. At this point, you want to save again. This is the process you do. Stop whatever's running. I hit stop. And I look back at my if you look at my screen over there, the sense had stopped on the words wherever I stopped it. So now I'm saying, hey, emulator or Python, I need you to run this program for me, okay? And look at what it does. 1 second, everybody. Yep. Was hello? Uh, I'm sorry, everybody. I just got a phone call by my son making bad friends. At any rate, do you see my screen? And this is what you're supposed to see, but it simulates what's supposed to happen on your sense hat. And that's the small mechanism you change to either program it from the sense hat to the sense hat emulator, which is this Astro Pi. Okay. If you don't know where sense hat emulator is and you want to test this out, in case you get frustrated and your sense hat's not working, all these codes work. You just got to make the modifications to make them work. You got to point to in that one line of code I showed you, whether it's going to the sense hat or the emulator. Once you do that, your life will be easier. You can get all these done because you'll test it out. And even with my functional syntax behind me, I'm able to test your code that you should have tested on your emulator, and it should work on my syntax with no problem. That's how I'm grading you guys. All right. So it's 9:45. I mean, I think I explained everything. And Alika, I want to let y'all go a little early so I can hurry up and process this video. Yeah, I can't. But you guys got questions because I want to check on the other class and see if they need help. If not, is I'm gonna treat it as asynchronous. I got your tennis log. I think Miss Baker got y'all tennis too. Let me see here. Make sure I did that right. Yeah, I got Melody, Alika, Eli, and Carson. Okay. So Carson, did that help? I'm not sure. You kind of quiet over there. What's the deal, dude? Because that's all I was trying to get you
Yeah,
to do.
I'm paying attention.
Okay, no, no, I said did it help, brother? You gonna say I paid attention? That's
Um,
not what I asked you.
um, kinda, but I think
You
it'll
gotta
help
try it
better
out.
when by my yeah.
Okay, because you said you're not by your kid, right?
Yeah, I'm not at home, so I don't have my kid with me.
Okay, so when you get a chance tonight, give it a try. But at this point, we gotta get the rest of those labs done. So 6, 7, and 8, I think. Try to
Mhm.
at least emulate it so you'll know it's right before you send it to me. Whatever you're gonna do to it. Okay.
Mhm.
And you should
Okay.
be okay with this, dude, because you did make code and Scratch. You did the simulations. Let's remember we had the little simulations of what would happen on the side, and that's kind of what you're doing here too, dude. You gotta get used to the coding techniques. All right, so if you ain't got no questions, then everybody you're dismissed. I mean, have a great day and try to get that done. Get by your kids. Get something accomplished. Turn some work in. Let him know I'm still here helping him. He probably think I abandoned him. Alika, Eli, y'all there?
Yeah.
Okay. You got questions, dear? Because it's 9:50. I mean, said you can go 5 minutes ago. Oh, she bounced. Mr. Curtis, you want to use this time to refresh and see you next period, I guess? Okay. Guess he'll come back when he's ready. Let me take care of this. Trying to get ready for next period anyway.